seats.
Once again, we welcome you to our Meet and Greet press conference and advocacy campaign. Mr. and Miss NEU is not just about looks nor popularity. It is about showcasing the values and spreading awareness to the youth. This competition is the platform where student leaders from the entirety of the institution gather to present their passion and the ideologies that they fight for. And I believe that this will be another exciting event for our school, right, Carl?
Oh, absolutely, Meg. I am certainly looking forward to the best that our contestants can give us today, as they are the university ambassadors who have come to serve one purpose: to give honor and glory to God.
This is Mr. and Miss NEU preliminary competition, meet and greet press conference and advocacy campaign, where students' voices are ignited to make a significant difference anchored to NEU's core values.
So let us not wait any further. But before we get to the core of our event, let us call Miss Julia Francine Tamayo, our event director, for her opening message to all of us. Let us give her a big round of applause.
To our beloved University President Dr. Nilo L. Rosas, to the ever-supportive Office of Student Affairs and Services, our university faculty and staff, and all the students from different branches and main campus, a very warm welcome and morning to all of you. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to this first Mr. and Miss NEU event, Meet and Greet Press Conference and Advocacy-Based campaign. I can't believe that this event has finally arrived after all of our preparation. We thank God and everyone who helped make this event a success. We all know that during our preparation, it has not been easy for each of us because it's also abundance of our exam. But because of our dedication and effort, we are finally here to witness the new sets of candidates in this year's Mr. and Miss NEU 2022. Even though you have already participated in this event, I hope that you'll continue to support other NEU fair events. Once again, I am Julia Francine P. Tamayo. Let's all create happy memories and surround ourselves with laughter and friendship. Thank you and good luck, candidates.
Thank you very much for your inspiring words, Ms. Tamayo. Once again, a virtual round of applause for Miss Julia.
Indeed, Meg, I believe that all of our contestants, judges, and audience have been moved by Miss Tamayo's words. Everyone in this competition made great efforts and sacrifices to reach this platform in our NEU Fair 2022. So how about it, Meg? Should we now move to the next part of our event?
I believe that we should, Carl. Now that the formalities are over with, let us now move on to the presentation of our criteria for judging.
As everyone can see in their screens, here are the criteria for judging in today's event.
First up, for our criteria for the meet and greet press conference, we have the relevance of the candidate's concept to the NEU fair team with 25%.
For the contestant's delivery of speech, we have 20%.
Content of answers for 35%.
And the contestant's confidence and overall presence, we have 20%, all summing up to a 100% performance.
Next up, our criteria for judging of the advocacy campaign.
In this criteria, for 30%, we have the compelling arguments of the candidates.
Once again, relevance of the candidate's advocacy to the NEU fair team for 30%.
The delivery of the candidate speeches for 20%.
And lastly, certainly not the least, the candidate's originality for 20%.
We hope that each and every one of you have taken notes so that from the comfort of your seats, you can be able to witness the performances of our candidates vividly.
Indeed, because now we will be witnessing the video presentations of our candidates in the college, year level, and school branch that they represent.
Oh, this is very exciting. So let us now get to know our participants. Lights, camera, action.
Hello everyone, my name is Gianpaolo Enadrano, representative of the NEU College of Accountancy. I am a school varsity way back during the face-to-face classes. I am a simple, contented, and happy person who loves sports, who loves to spend time with friends and family, who loves to have a great workout in the gym, and of course, who loves foods, because why not? For me, there's no specific life story that I consider the most inspiring or the most interesting. That's because I believe that every moment, every second of my life is already interesting and inspiring. The fact that I am given a chance to wake up the next day, it is already enough for me to consider it as an inspiring and interesting moment of my life. I may not be as talented or as intelligent as the other candidates, but with my exceptional dedication, courage, and passion, I believe that I'm one step ahead from the other candidates. Thank you.
Hello everyone! It is an honor to meet you all. My name is Eldrick Carl Fandialan, and today we're going to talk about myself in this introductory video. Let's go! I am 22 years old and I am currently taking up the course BS Psychology here at New Era University. Also a fun fact, I am also currently a fourth year student.
I am also proud to say that I am currently holding a position in the organization of my course as a fourth year level representative. And within my 4 years with the organization, I have learned how to be the best of me and how I am thankful to have been part of it. I am also a church officer within the various organizations inside the Church of Christ. To me, it is the greatest gift and blessing that the Lord gave me because it is what molded me into what I am today.
Some of my hobbies include playing video games, writing poetry, listening to music, and also I am an avid fan and player of basketball, volleyball, and badminton. In all honesty, a talent or skill that I am thankful to have is the ability to sing and play an instrument known as the bamboo flute. My motto in life is Carpe Diem, or in its English translation, it means to seize the day. I take every single chance or opportunity to seize the moment and the day. Living by this motto gives me the push and energy to give it my all and to do the best I can and make most of the present time without wallowing in the uncertainty of the future.
The words blessings and thankful are not enough
for what I truly felt when I chose to enroll and studied the course PS Psychology here at New Era University. The program and the university has truly helped me mold and develop myself into a person that can be of great service to my family, to my friends, to the community, to the country, and to humanity as a whole. However, my life is not perfect. I have been through ups and downs, moments of despair, sadness, and stress. But as I turned 22, I realized that we should not worry about the current direction of our lives. Instead, we should always live in the moment, seize the day, and we should always appreciate what we have now. Because it is the Lord Almighty that holds the future and promises of our lives. And we should trust His plan wholeheartedly and accordingly.
As an individual, we all have different perspectives when it comes to viewing life. As for me, I view it as something that is not stagnant, an opportunity to make myself better each day. It should be lived even with the presence of things that put us through pain. For what makes life worthwhile doesn't only end on the joy that it entails, but struggles accompanied by lessons that pushes us to move forward in becoming the better versions of ourselves. It has been my drive on how I navigate myself in this world. As much as life has so much to offer for me, I also firmly believe that I have something to offer in this life too. To explore the diversity of things is something that I enjoy doing. I specifically have fondness on literary and performing arts. I once joined a declamation contest back in 2014 by which I was hailed as the champion back then. I also engaged myself in storytelling and even participated in various dancing competitions and intermissions. As for my pastime, I enjoy doing makeups and sewing. And recently, I ventured hosting for various events and programs sponsored by our university. As a fourth-year student taking a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, I have been spending my time not only on acquiring skills that will be beneficial on my being, as I take into much consideration on how the things that I do will help other people in various ways. I am a member of the Psychology Society who has spearheading multiple activities not only for the benefit of psychology students, but also taking into account the knowledge and awareness that should be imparted to the Iranian community related to our field of study. And what the NEU community can expect from my Miss NEU performance is that I have poured my whole heart and effort in preparing for this pageant. The things that I have geared up for the Iranian community reflects who I am and will also reflect the College of Arts and Sciences which I represent. I can assure that the whole Iranian will benefit and will also gain a lot of knowledge from the things that I will be imparting, which is aligned with the university's core values. So Iranians, look forward to my incomparable performance this Mr. and Miss NEU 2022. Above the opportunities to grow that the Lord have blessed me, I've always wanted to be viewed as someone who is warm-hearted, whose capabilities are used to make impact in other people's lives. Someone who is committed with what she does and never stops to grow for the better. Someone whose future is not molded with the grandiose of things, but with the little shimmers that she scatters on people. Someone who aspires to be great not for personal glory, but for affording to extend a hand to those who need it. For she who leaves a trail of glitter is never forgotten. I am Ivor Corinne de Chavez Manalata, 21 years old, your Miss College of Arts and Sciences 2022.
Scientists study the world as it is. Engineers create the world that has never been. Buenos dias, y caballero. This is Brian J.T. Aquino from the former capital of the Philippines, Quezon City. Excellent working knowledge of mathematics and engineering principles. I'm proudly representing the department that helps me to move closer to my dream, the College of Engineering and Architecture. I'm just a simple young man who has a simple dream. I am flexible, patient, energetic, and a person who enjoys every day of my life to its fullest. I treasure my family and friends the most because they are always there for me when I needed them. I remember when I was young, I used to play basketball and spend my time playing computer games to have fun. I was clueless and ignorant at that time. But as I grew up, I discovered a lot of things, even my insecurity. When I was young, I don't really have a trust in myself that even though I know the answer or I know what should I do, I don't have the confidence to answer or act immediately. But now, I can turn my insecurity to be my strength, and it helps me to widen my horizon and become mature. If I'm going to be the next NEU ambassador, I'll be an effective leader and be able to encourage my fellow students, guiding the organization to be successful by being the first to embrace the changes in the workplace, no matter how big or small they seem. It's very important to support the changes and keep my attitude as positive as possible, as my fellow student is likely to adapt or at least internalize my mindset, and I will do my very best to help and improve their skill and to fulfill their goals academically by teaching them as far as I can. Once again, my name is Brian J.T. Aquino, an aspiring successful engineer in the future.
From a young age, I've always loved fashion and the freedom we get in how we present ourselves to the world. I'm very kikai. I love to play with makeup. I love to go shopping, put together outfits, and develop my personal style. I believe that the way we dress ourselves is how we communicate to the world without saying a word. When I get dressed in the mornings, I always consider how I'm representing myself, my family, my school, and most importantly, how I'm representing my faith and the God that I belong to. Fashion for me is more than just pretty clothes and surface-level beauty. It is the outward manifestation of how I view myself on the inside and who I want to be. At the age of 16, I had to put a pause on my education for about 4 years. Being a minister's daughter, my family and I unexpectedly moved from the United States to the Philippines. I didn't get to finish high school, I didn't get to graduate alongside my friends, and for a while I felt stuck in a rut, very insecure that while everyone else my age was reaching new milestones, I couldn't do the same. It stayed that way for a couple of years due to unchangeable circumstances. I couldn't get a job, I didn't have a high school diploma, I didn't know how to drive, etc. I felt incompetent and hopeless. But fast forward to now, I'm currently enrolled here at New Era University, which was once a childhood dream, much like competing in this pageant. Through the grace of God, all of the dots connect up to this present moment. Everything I experienced in those years of waiting, all the hardships I endured and the insecurity I felt, has led me here today. Presenting myself before you all, a heart filled with gratitude and love for this academic institution that God has blessed us with. It is written in Matthew 23:11 in the New Living Translation. The greatest among you must be a servant. As a member of the Church of Christ, my beliefs and morals are aligned with the university's values. I understand the responsibilities that are attached to this position and already implement them in my everyday life. If I were to be an NEU ambassador, I would put my whole heart into providing myself in service to our academic institution. As a communication major, I wouldn't just be the voice of the students, but would use my platform to empower my fellow students to use their voices so that they too will be heard.
A pleasant day to everyone. I'm Aldous Isle O de la Peña, 23 years old, second year from the College of Communication. My hobbies include singing, playing instruments, producing music, and the occasional dancing. My current activities include making YouTube videos, making cover songs, and writing my own music. When it comes to my life, the only interesting thing that I can think of is that this is actually my second school. I came from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and I chose to transfer to New Era University in order to expand my horizon and to know about different academic cultures. Another thing is that my career choice is in the field of music. I want to be a music producer, but I'm in the field of communication when it comes to my college life. I chose communication because I believe that music is a different form. It is an artistic way of expression of communication. And I believe that if we must learn the things that we love or learn more about it, I believe that we must do it in our own time, at our own pace, in order for us to fully appreciate our progress. With that said, the people or the community should expect from my performance that it is an accumulation of everything that I have learned, everything that I've taught myself, or everything I've learned from other people or other sources when it comes to music. It is a presentation that I would like to share to you, and this is something that you should look out for. Thank you.
Mabuhay! I am Demi Moore Menjola, 20 years old, proudly representing the College of Business Administration. I grew up being used to performing in front of a big crowd because my mother has always encouraged me since I was a kid to participate in different competitions, especially in our favorite, which is beauty pageants. And I'm very thankful that she raised me this way because I was able to discover my talents and develop my skills. I am an artistic person who enjoys painting, dancing, drawing, edit pictures and videos. Through this, I get to express myself and show everyone what I am capable of. Aside from that, I love public speaking, which is why I joined our department's organization, JPNEXA, my family inside the university. Through JPNEXA, I was able to share my ideas and lead my fellow students by assisting them in gaining more valuable knowledge and skills in business.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin G. Sherda, 21 years old, your Mr. NEU candidate from the College of Business Administration. I am a third-year student and currently studying Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship, which helped me become a well-rounded student and aware of all the things that is happening in the business world. I am fortunate enough to have a family that is ever supporting in all of my endeavors, and my friends that is with me through my tough times. With their help, I became one of the members in the top 10 President's Listers in my course last semester. I am a former varsity player and co-coach of Taekwondo at my college. I am also the Informations Director of the Young Entrepreneur Society a PNK Tagasuri, and the first Vice President of CBI NEU CBA chapter. With that being said, I believe I am deserving to be crowned as your Mr. NEU because leading other people is nothing new to me. And I want to cherish the platform that is given to me to spread awareness against anti-bullying towards college students and lower year level. My inspiring story is to why I became a martial artist. The reason is because I was often bullied during my elementary and junior high school days. My self-esteem and self-confidence was at its all-time low during the period of my life. I didn't want to go to school anymore because I will see the bullies that is always teasing me. My motivation to study isn't there anymore, and I will often cry myself to sleep because of every day that I will go to school, people that doesn't know me personally is bullying me. Luckily enough for me, I found my outlet of happiness. My parents enrolled me in a martial arts class, which is Taekwondo, wherein in every training session, my self-confidence and my self-esteem grew. And as a result, I became a better version of myself, and I know how to express my feelings through the art of Taekwondo. And I eventually became a varsity player and a co-coach of the Taekwondo team in my previous school. With the help of God, I won a silver and a gold medal during my competition. That's when I realized that trusting yourself, combined with a proper work ethic and our Lord God's guidance, nothing is impossible. Because who would have thought that a kid from Pasig City that is often laughed at and bullied in his elementary and junior high school days will achieve such medals and represent his school in large martial arts tournaments? That's why now, as your Mr. NEU candidate, I want to continue to inspire other people that even though you're bullied, that doesn't justify who you are and what's your goal. What's important is we can all help one another in finding our own outlet of happiness, achieve our dreams, and be successful in our lives in our own time, while carrying our morals, the uniqueness of our personality, and the content of our character. I can be an effective NEU ambassador because I am already a student leader, and I believe that with all that I have experienced in my life, I can continue to inspire each and every student in our dear university. That we can all be an advocate of something. We can all step up in our studies and our lives. Continue to fight for something that's bigger than ourselves. Just like what I am advocating, the anti-bullying campaign towards college students and lower year level. I believe I am a worthy NEU ambassador because I myself was a victim of bullying and I overcame that dark side of my past. And now, I want to be the voice of all the students that is experiencing or have experienced bullying. I am also an active member of the Church of Christ and one of the many active officers of Christian Brotherhood International, where we continue to uphold the Christian way of living as a student. With that being said, I want to use all of my life experiences for the benefit of all the members of our dear NEU family, and to inspire all the students out there that just like this event is key, we can all tighten our grasp on the future we all desire while upholding the Christian way of living. Once again, I am Justin G. Sherda, your Mr. NEU candidate from the College of Business Administration.
Hello everyone, my name is Melchizedek A. Bocobo, first year student from the College of Medical Technology. I am a sociable person and I love hanging out with my friends and family. When I was young, I always wanted to be a doctor. I was amazed by how other people can help and save lives. Growing up as a kid who don't have a lot of friends. I wanted to grow up and be the kind of person with empathy and care for others. Combining the care for others and passion of saving lives made me the person that I am today. I am confident that I'd be an effective NEU ambassador because I believe with Robert Ingerson's philosophy that we rise by lifting others. I also have the urge to unify people around us and become one while leading them to righteousness.
Hi, my name is John Ferry from the College of Nursing.
I am Mary Rosette Abarrientos, 19 years old, from Abris Commonwealth. I am an Unikaiya and I've been competing in pageant since I was young. I won Miss United Nations in 2014 and placed runner-up for Miss Kalikasan in 2018. Aside from being consistent honor student since grade school, my ultimate goal is to be a doctor. I believe it is a calling for me to help someone who is ill. Since I was young, I always wanted to have church obligation. However, I was a very sick child, and this is something that hinders me to have a church obligation. At the age of 10, I promised myself that when I grow up, I will have church obligation. I started to take care of my health in order for me not to get easily sick. And here I am today, standing in front of you as a choir member. And I have never been better. I believe that when you fulfill your duties to the church, He will always bless, guide, and protect you. Thank you. I believe that is not an easy task to be an ambassador of our school. It comes with great responsibility that one can easily fulfill. I also believe that an NEU ambassador should possess Christian qualities and have a pure heart towards service not only to the school, but also to the fulfillment of duties and obligation to the church. I strongly believe that I will be an effective ambassador of our school because I possess of all these things.
Good day to everyone. I'm Justin Curtsy Montana. I'm 16 years old. I'm studying at NEU University Pampanga branch. I'm grade 11 currently studying TVL ICT, and I'm proud to say that I'm a member of the Church of Christ. My first priority in life is to fulfill my duties and responsibilities to God. Growing up as an INC member, I'll always make sure to use the new knowledge that I learned from worship service and to spread the words of God in my community. And by doing so, I know my life will be successful. It's my childhood dream to be a guru in children's worship service, and as a student, I want to be a programmer and soldier to protect my country and my fellow citizens. I always pray to God that He will keep His guidance and protection so I can reach my goals and above all to continue my duties and responsibilities to Him.
A scoliosis warrior, a student leader, and a future CPA. A pride of New Era University. I am Angel Rose Locke from the college benchmarked with honesty, excellence, and integrity, the College of Accountancy. I am a product of excellency of our esteemed campus. As a student, I practice our core values of godliness, excellence, and service to humanity. I deeply advocate for the cultivation of the mind with the economic and financial awareness of our fellow youth. the future workforce of our country. Proudly, I am bringing the leadership and brilliance of the accountancy students of New Era University to greater heights as the Regional Vice President for Communications East of the National Federation of Junior Philippine Institute of Accountants, National Capital Region. Thus, my advocacy is not just mere words, but a part of reality. And a real advocacy is what our community deserves. As a scoliosis warrior, my heart goes out to the minority of NEU students struggling with disability. It is not easy to live a life that is out of the ordinary. And so with the opportunity and the platform that I am graciously given, may I serve as an inspiration and a reminder that we are not any less. And in fact, we can achieve anything we set our minds to, despite the inherent obstacles we have in life. As a future CPA, I am serious with my studies. I value education not just of my own, but also of others. Being a student leader since grade school, I have been a part of projects and programs that cultivate the mind and the skills of my fellow youth as students. Beyond all these labels and titles, most importantly, I am you. I am a representation of the youth of NEU. Ab imo pectore, a Latin phrase which means from the bottom of my heart. This is one of my favorite phrases to live by, and it basically sums up my life story. I do everything and anything with all my heart. Oddly enough, this is also related to my interests. I found out about this phrase through a K-pop music video, and yes, I am a K-pop and K-drama fan. I appreciate diverse culture and art so deeply that I am proud to say that I am a disciple of the arts. Growing up as an only child, I did not have siblings to discover myself with. But I am blessed to have parents who supported me in venturing life outside the comfort of our home. I grew up as many things. I uncovered my emotions through words and letters. And so in high school, I became a campus journalist. I had a lot of alone time watching the television and being exposed to the mainstream entertainment. And so as early as grade school, I ventured into the theater and arts as well. I only had adults with me at home. There were no kids my age. I remember my mom inviting over her friends' children just so I could have company. I discovered how much I love communicating and collaborating with people my age. And so for 6 years now, I am a student leader leading and working with my fellow youth. One of the lowest points of my life was when I was diagnosed with scoliosis. It was something that I could not simply hide. It manifested in my looks and appearance. As I grew older, my spine developed an abnormal curve. I wasn't able to physically grow properly. My posture, my physique, and my height was hindered by this. Of course, with an out-of-the-ordinary appearance came the taunts and bullying of other kids. I became an easy target for bullying. It affected my mental well-being and confidence so much. Having no elder sibling to defend me in school back then, I only had myself. Words got to me and it deeply scarred my inner child. It once stopped me from loving who I am. But today, I am in front of all of you because I got through it. With the help of God and my loving friends and family, I was able to look away from the demeaning side of life and strive to push forward to the brighter side of things. If I could do other things such as writing, public speaking, and the likes with all my heart, I can also put all of my heart into loving myself and giving it the dreams that it wanted. Needless to say, I am a work in progress. I am in the process of finding my dreams and piecing together the life that I am praying for. Today, from the bottom of my heart, with the stories and the advocacy that I am bringing, I aspire to become a role model to my fellow NEU students. An ambassador of the university carries not only herself, but the whole student body. To be an effective NEU ambassador, I believe that 4 core things are a must. Proper representation of the pulse of the students of our campus, assurance to guarantee that all duties and responsibilities as a role model to the school community shall be delivered possession of core values that the university holds dear. I firmly believe that I can bring all these as our school's representative. As an effective ambassador of the university, I will lead the youth of NEU to dream for the things in life that matter. The people, the stories, and the legacies that can be left for the future generations. Once again, I am Angel Rose Lockett from the college benchmarked with honesty, excellence, and integrity, the College of Accountancy.
I feel like I know our contestants as much as they know themselves. I Let us give a big round of virtual applause for our contestants. I had goosebumps run down my spine with the gracefulness, elegance, and fighting spirit that our contestants have displayed with their stories. What about you, Carl?
I apologize for the technical difficulties. Okay, so as Mega said, I have nothing more to add to her remarks. As a witness to this incredible event, I believe that I speak for everyone when I say that we all have high hopes for all of our contestants. We know that this is exciting for everyone, but before we proceed with our program, let us now watch an original INC music video entitled Laan, composed by Sister Angisel Diallo.
Puso ko ay nagagalak sapagkat ito'y handa nang tumibok muli.
Para sa iyo, aking sinta, kaya sabik ng ikaw ay akin nang makilala.
Umaasa makakapiling din kita. Ikaw sana sa'kin ay itinadhana. Ako'y maghihintay sa tamang panahon. Kahit ilang oras, araw, linggo, buwan o taon. Kahit gaano katagal, matyagang hihintayin ang iyong pagdating. Sana'y laan ka na ng Diyos sa akin.
Huwag kang mag-alala, hindi maiinip kung matagalan sa pagtugon ang langit.
Sa matagal ko nang hiniling na ikaw nga ay akin nang makapiling. Umaasa makakasama rin kita. Ikaw sana sa'kin ay nakatadhana. Ako'y maghihintay sa tamang panahon. Kahit ka na ng Diyos sa akin sa paghihintay. Ako ay nangangako, hindi mapapagod ang aking puso.
Kapag nandyan ka na, ikaw na panalangin ko.
Ikaw at ako, tayo na hanggang sa dulo. Ako'y maghihintay sa tamang panahon. Kahit ilang oras, araw, linggo, buwan o taon. Kahit gaano katagal, matyagang hintayin ang iyong pagdating. Sana'y laan ka na ng Diyos sa akin.
Ako'y
Kahit gaano katagal, ika'y aking hihintayin. Sana'y laan ka na ng Diyos sa akin.
What a lovely tune to warm our hearts before we continue with the event. Now let's get back to the excitement, shall we, Meg?
We shall. I know everybody is really excited now that we have finally gotten to know the background of our candidates. It's time to move on to the next part of our program, which will be the first challenge for our contestants, the presentation of advocacy and collaborative questions.
But before we proceed with this segment of the event, Meg, some may ask, what is the purpose of the candidate's advocacy presentation? Well, to answer that question, Meg, the advocacy campaign will be the avenue for the compelling advocacies of the candidates of Mr. and Miss NEU. The event will further promote the values being advocated by the university, as well as the personal advocacies of the candidates.
So for today's event, the candidates' advocacy will be evaluated by our beloved set of judges.
First up, we have Mr. Mon Robin Brinjel.
Next, we have the lovely Professor Hazel Lucy Plaza.
And for our last judge, we have Professor Rachel Esperanza. Okay, so let us not prolong the excitement and let's call our first set of candidates.
First up, we have the College of Accountancy. Let's give a round of virtual applause.
This planet is full of greatness. Greatness in arts, greatness in music, greatness in business, and more. But there's one greatness that we least recognize sometimes. Greatness in sports. A lot of potentials and talents are already existing in us, and some can be unleashed through the use of sports. However, these things will not come out without the opportunity to try. Sports provides us many benefits, such as improved social skills, stronger health, better mindset, and most of all, discipline. These characteristics that can be improved through sports are also useful in life and for us students in our academic performances. That's why people who are engaged in sports are also known to excel in many different things. That is why I am advocating discover, move, and excel. Discover different kinds of sports and find the one that you really like. Once you found it, move. Train your skills, grow your experience through competitions, and gain your confidence. Excel. Inspire other people with your success and shine not just in the world of sports, but in life. This is a sports program for students who want to try different sports and who aspires to be a school varsity someday. This includes sports like basketball, volleyball, football, badminton, and more. In addition to that is board games such as chess, Game for the Generals, Scrabble, checkers, and more. Some people used to believe that sports trainings are exclusive only for varsities, but it's not. NEU University aims to provide world-class education. There's no reason not to aim to produce world-class athletes.
Ano bang ambag mo? Natanong ka na ba kung anong ambag mo sa Pilipinas? Naniniwala akong narito tayo sa ating bansa sapagkat mayroon tayong kontribusyon sa paglago nito. Bawat pawis, bawat hirap, at bawat sentimo patungo sa pangarap ay hakbang hindi lamang para sa sarili, ngunit para sa bayan. At dapat lamang na alam natin ito. Coming from the college benchmarked with honesty, excellence, and integrity, I believe that transparency in information, development of monetary skills, and access to financial information is essential not only for one's success, but for the betterment of the nation. I firmly believe each and every one of us, no matter how big or small, has a contribution to our country.
In line with the university's core values of excellence and service to humanity, I deeply advocate for every citizen counts, accounting, and financial awareness for all. No matter the age, the status, or the economic standing, it is every man's right to understand accounting and finance on a personal level, and in something we are all a part of, on a national level, from proper management of income, the procedures of our taxes, to the simple act of saving for the prayers we wish to be fulfilled in the future. With every financially literate citizen, we make a better and informed general public. What greater lengths and leaps in our progress as a country can we further achieve if we start combating inequalities by equipping accounting and financial knowledge to our citizens? How many lives can we change and in turn lift from the depths of poverty? In terms of finance and economic knowledge, the Philippines ranks the lowest in the Southeast Asian region. We must take action and pull each other up from the slums of economic hardship. In this rapid age of progress, this advocacy aims for no man to be left behind. Hand in hand, guided by our Christian values, the skills New Era University honed us within, and our heart to serve mankind, let us lead the NEU students, the future workforce, and our fellow countrymen to financial opportunities and open up paths where they can further in life. I am Angel Rose Lopez from the College of Accountancy. Once again, with the heart to empower and promote financial and economic awareness for all, we will rise all together. Ano ang ambag ko? Today, I am starting with you.
I am starting with the youth of NEU.
Again, apologies for the technical error. Again, let us now welcome the College of Engineering and Architecture.
Them to improve their academic performance because like myself, I'm struggling to listen in the lesson that we are tasked to do. And the most of the time, it isn't enough to study it alone since you need to focus and to exert a lot of efforts to understand it. I believe that student needs someone to teach and to guide them throughout the lesson so they will surely learn and gain more knowledge about the lesson that they're studying. And you probably heard of peer tutoring. But what is it exactly? Peer tutoring has been around for ages. However, let us explore how it helps to enhance education. Peer tutoring is a student-centered method of learning that has numerous benefits. It is a great way to improve students with help and assisting struggling students in the classroom. It is a great way to improve their skill and to make them more confident and comfortable. I believe that tutors strengthen and deepen their understanding of the content that they were tutoring, gain an interest, sense of confidence, and personal efficacy, and develops responsibility and empathy. The availability of peer tutoring was found to be useful to school in that it provided an opportunity for students to receive more individualized attention. Peer tutoring program in online learning helps students improve academically and be on path towards career since peer tutoring increases student interest and attention. It is very effective. Furthermore, peer tutoring has a lot of advantage when it comes to learning and achieving goals. If I'm going to be the next NEU ambassador, I will absolutely give my very best and my whole self in implementing advocacy. With the help of peer tutors, the student will have a better understanding of the task that they will do, as well as it will help them to have more focus on what they're studying since there are tutors that will guide them throughout their studies. I firmly believe that peer tutors are very beneficial to the student and most especially to the whole NEU community. Through peer tutoring, students will receive more individualized attention and instruction. As a result, students are more attentive and interested in the lesson, which increase their ability to learn, so the student in New Era University will receive a lot of satisfaction and better understanding in terms of academics. And I thank you.
A pleasant morning to each and everyone. Hi, my name is Angel Alcance. I'm from the College of Engineering and Architecture. My advocacy is entitled Students' Voice, an advocacy in relation to assessing students' needs, listening to and acting on students' preferences, interests, and opinions makes students involved in their learning and can spark passions that enhance perseverance. I have decided that we'll create an organization wherein students can share their experiences and concerns with a designated or assigned representative per department, since that sometimes it's hard to communicate with our professors because they are too busy and most of the time, it can take a couple of days for them to respond to our messages. We have concluded an idea that will provide a Google form link on the announcement page in Newlet, where they can write their concerns or problems that they have about academics. In line with that, there will be an assigned officer per department who will cater or continuously monitor the Google form link. If they want to clarify or address their concerns or problems quickly, we will provide a scheduled Google Meet session once per week with the assigned representative per department so that it can be resolved or directly sent to the professors immediately. In effect, The students will assure that their concerns will be surely forwarded to their professors quickly. Students' voice is our best avenue for uncovering and recovering the challenges that the students like me carry within ourselves, especially during this new normal. Students' voice contributes to increased engagement and development of healthy connections. Students feel like they belong when they believe they are appreciated and their opinions are valued. Lastly, to feel comfortable both physically and emotionally. I can assure the students that if I win, I will pursue my advocacy and implement it right away because I know how it feels to not be heard. Everyone deserves to speak and to be heard, and I thank you.
Such inspiring advocacies. Now, up next is the candidates from NEU Batangas.
My advocacy for this one is I want to empower the youth with the good behavior and believe that in this time of generation, still, kabataan ng pag-asa ng bayan. I want to empower the youth to do their best, to show their skills and talents, to still believe in themselves and everything that they do. I'm here today to show everyone that us, youth, may have our own fear and weaknesses, but it's a great feeling to step out of your comfort zone, step out of your fear, and take risks for your dreams.
And now for the representatives of the College of Arts and Sciences.
The New Era University is known for having a unified community. The halls of the university is a testament on how the various academic programs are held to connect and help each student to develop and grow not only in the academe, but also in fostering and creating social relationships. Throughout the years, the New Era University has never been stopped and hindered at fostering and developing the student community. It was truly a fun time, especially during the times that we were able to interact and communicate with each other inside the campus, attending various activities, and all the more fulfilling our dreams together, one step at a time.
However, that all came crashing down on one single day, March 12th, 2020, a date that will forever live in infamy. It is the day that our lives changed drastically. Never we could have thought that a day has changed the course of our history. It is the day that President Rodrigo Duterte declared an enhanced community quarantine of the entire Metro Manila area to curb the spread of the already raging COVID-19 pandemic. A few weeks later, the whole Philippines was placed under ECQ as well.
We all expected it to only last a few weeks. However, those weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. The new normal has took its course, and the old normal setting of our lives is no more.
With the new normal setting, these face-to-face interactions we enjoy in our campus have been halted due to the pandemic we are currently facing. We have been continuing our studies for almost 2 years now in the confines of our own homes. Several adjustments are to be done, and this includes the way we interact and communicate with one another.
Being in the same place with the people who share the same dreams and passion as you are far more comforting than being alone and only facing them virtually through technology. As we all know, fulfilling our dreams and having the future we desire is not a linear process. There will be setbacks along the journey on achieving the things that we want. There will be days that are just simply too hard to get by, days that we feel like we are not doing good enough. days that feel just too bleak. Sometimes, things are just too much to handle, and during these times, we will need each other to rely on. Although the mode that we have now to connect is far from what we had during the normal days, we can still navigate and maximize it to reach out. With that being said, my advocacy is to promote and strengthen social connectedness. Social connectedness is defined as a sense of belonging to a group, family, or community. It's about the relationships people have with each other and their engagement with the broader community. Social connection is an integral component of health and well-being. During these trying times, I personally find it even more necessary, more than ever, to have someone you can relate and rely on, and to connect with, even in online. I use my position as an organization member of my college to connect with fellow students, establish a sense of connection and closeness to make sure that no one is being left behind, may it be in the academics or other aspects in life that will help them grow. I believe that such connection will produce collective success and better educational environment. Every student will be a part of the community with one goal that will uphold them individually and the university as a whole.
As a student leader, I engage myself on spearheading programs and activities that pertains to this cause, as I wholeheartedly believe that these kinds of interaction do not only provide reliance and sense of relatedness, but also provides us a whole spectrum of perspectives in life that we can utilize for our own growth as an individual. People naturally learn from one another, and having people who share the same journey as you provide a sense of comfort within. A kind of assurance that although the path we are all walking through requires rigorous hard work, perseverance, and sacrifices, we gain strength and resolve because we are not alone. Let's tighten the grasp to the future we desire all together.
After all, as what the infamous psychologist Lev Vygotsky said, through others, we become ourselves.
What's far better than advocating for something that you have experienced firsthand? This is something that I genuinely care about and something that's really close to my heart because I've been through it myself. And to be honest, this is something very personal to me. Going back when I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and later on clinical depression, I remember having so much adjustments that I felt hopeless, helpless, and even voiceless. It had truly affected me in my day-to-day life wherein I couldn't function the way I used to. There even came a time when I was invalidated and discriminated by people who are not aware of the reality of mental health. And this has motivated me more to spread awareness about it because I don't want others to experience what I went through. NEU Community is a safe place where we mitigate mental health stigma and we empower mental health support and awareness. Always remember that mental illnesses, just like any other sickness, is treatable. And with that being said, I chose to advocate for mental health support and awareness because I firmly believe that there will always be a need to address this for our world to become a better place to live in. Perhaps the most vital thing one should practice is to wholeheartedly acknowledge what we feel, no matter how gruesome and unlovely we perceive it to be. That sometimes we have to stop fighting reality in order to heal from something that pains us. This process will not be easy, and it all starts with being aware of one's and other people's mental health. As we pursue online classes in our own homes, some of us might be juggling our studies alongside other matters concerning our family, our health and safety, finances, and even other personal baggage. Things may get overwhelming for us, and without proper emotional management, it may lead to a more serious mental condition and would consequently impair our well-being. Despite the limitations posed by the pandemic, there are still ways in which we can promote and address this issue. To start, I've been utilizing my platform in social media by sharing vital information regarding mental health. This includes sharing tips and alternative ways in which we can do in various situations which concerns our mental stability. Apart from it, I have been hosting different programs such as webinars and forums regarding mental health, which is headed by our college organization. This may be a small step, but the gesture may reach and impact others largely and make a difference. As a psychology student, I give high importance to the knowledge that I am learning, with the hope that I, too, can be a professional in the field of psychology. This cause, however, is not my fight alone. Everyone should know that mental health is just as important as physical health, and it is our task to uphold it. Just imagine if there is a collective effort from people far greater than we have now, surely a lot of people will gain benefit from it. Oftentimes, we neglect and set aside the mental aspect of our being. But we have to remember that our functionality as an individual will be compromised if we continue to ignore it. As students, we are seeking for a bright future ahead. But we sometimes work too hard just to navigate ourselves through it. We have to be reminded that as much as we invest in the future, we must invest in the present as well. And that includes taking care of our mental well-being. Our grasp to the future we desire will be firmer if we are equipped with a stable mind. Always remember, kasama ka.
And now, let's welcome the candidates from the College of Business Administration.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin G. Sherda, 21 years old, your Mr. NEU candidate from the College of Business Administration. I have a question for you. Have you ever been bullied, or are you experiencing being bullied right now? Because I have also been a victim of bullying back in my high school days, and recently I experienced it through social media. I remember those days that it brought me to my lowest point in life. I didn't want to go to school because of the bullies in my classroom. I didn't want to study anymore, and every time I would come home from school, I would cry myself to sleep.
Most of it was worse because it was mostly about image. They called me fat and ugly, and that affected me quite a lot. Sorry.
I was bullied, and it was cyberbullying, and even though people think it's not a big deal and I'll just get over it, it's really not as easy and as people make it sound.
You already have that tapping in your head and you're already thinking these things. As soon as someone says it and makes it real, it kind of destroys you, and you start to think about things that you really shouldn't. And I started to die inside from these comments and start to just crumble, and it was awful.
Bullying is not just happening in high school, but it can also occur in college students and even in the workplace. Did you know that even though we are now in an online setting in our studies, bullying still happens? And in a sense, it is much amplified now because on how easy it is to degrade someone through social media. Bashing someone and canceling them is being abused because it is also rooted from bullying. According to UNICEF, 1 in 3 young people in over 30 countries are victims of bullying. 44% of male students are victims of cyber violence. and also 43% of the female students are victims of cyber violence as well. These numbers just ranges from student age 13 to 70. Imagine the numbers if we include college students who are victims of bullying. I was fortunate enough that my parents enrolled me in a martial arts class, which is Taekwondo. This helped me tremendously because I learned so much about myself, and my self-confidence, my self-esteem grew each training session. And eventually, I became a varsity player and I won a silver and gold medal while representing my school. Now, as your Mr. NEU candidate, my advocacy is to continue to spread awareness against bullying in all of the students in our university, so that when we graduate, we are all holistic as a person, competent and confident enough to face the world with our chest out and head held high, representing NEU with every decisions we make outside of our dear university. I would also like to promote martial arts because it helped me overcome the dark side of my past, and I believe it can also help many students as well, because martial arts is not only a hobby but a way of life. With the help of all the guidance counselors, student organizations, and faculty in NEU, we can stop bullying altogether. If not martial arts, we can all help one another in finding your own outlet of happiness, so that victims of bullying and bullies can be eradicated. With that being said, I want to be the voice of all the people who are afraid to speak up for themselves, to all the college students that are shy to express their feelings, for the ones that are voiceless, and the ones that can't fight for themselves. I want to start the initiative against bullying, and as an INC member, I would also like to promote the Christian way of living, because INC is against these violent acts. And by sharing my faith, we can all stop bullying and cherish the promised salvation. As your Mr. NEU candidate, I want to continue to inspire all of the members of our NEU family that being bullied doesn't justify your worth. What matters is what's inside your heart and the content of your character. Once again, my name is Justin G. Sherda, your Mr. NEU candidate from the College of Business Administration.
Mabuhay! I am Demi Moore Mediola, 20 years old, proudly representing the College of Business Administration.
And my advocacy is financial literacy.
One thing I have noticed among my fellow Filipino citizens, many are financially illiterate. And according to Jokno, the current governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, based on the World Bank, Philippines have the lowest rate of being financially literate, which is 25% compared to other Asian countries. Probably one of the reasons why is because finance is one of those topics that Filipinos doesn't want to talk about. Many individuals find it difficult and uncomfortable to discuss. Recently, there has been a lot of articles about Filipinos who were defrauded after investing their money because they easily engage in rich quick schemes due to a lack of financial knowledge. As a spokesperson, I want to encourage all the students to be financially literate, for them to have a better financial decisions, to manage their money and debt wisely, and for them to achieve their financial goals. As an advocate of financial literacy, I strongly believe that financial education must be taken as a subject and be added to the curriculum. According to Warren Buffett, the best investment that we can make is an investment in ourselves. The more you learn, the more you'll earn. It's about time that the Philippines must have a well-rounded curriculum. I want to promote financial education because I believe that the health and vitality of entire nations are dependent on each individual's financial knowledge. When people understand how to make great financial decisions for themselves, Their strong financial behavior will lead them to have a financially secure lifestyle. The fewer people who make poor financial judgments, the stronger the society will become. When each individual is financially secure, the nation as a whole will be financially secure.
Such inspiring stories for their advocacy. Now let's hear it up for the candidates from the College of Medical Technology.
Do you have a favorite superhero? Well, whether it be Marvel or DC, I'm pretty sure they all share the same purpose, and that is to save lives. They all aim to protect you, your family, your community, and even the future generations. If only there was such a thing as that in real life. Oh wait, there is. Immunization. Through immunization, you can be your own favorite superhero. You can protect yourself, your family, and your community from infectious diseases. Did you know that up until the 1950s, many children died each year from diseases such as tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis? Thanks to the major vaccination programs introduced during the 1960s and 1970s, which are, by the way, still effective today. It is rare for anyone to die from infectious diseases nowadays. In fact, this protection goes further to future generations. The more people who are vaccinated, the fewer people will be infected, and the less widely a disease can spread. You are not only caring for your family, but also protecting the vulnerable people in your community. By advocating for the significance of immunization in public health, I am somehow able to help wipe out diseases that could spread now and into the future. You can do it too. Be a superhero today and get vaccinated.
Such a timely advocacy. Now let's move on to the College of Communication.
Have you ever tried to see in the dark? If some of you have tried it, you don't really have to wait that long until your eyes get accustomed to seeing in it. That is because the human body adjusts in accordance to the situation or circumstance that it is in. With that being said, we must also learn to get used to a different kind of darkness, negativity and adversity. And this is where my advocacy comes in, navigating through the dark, perseverance in the face of negativity and adversity. Nowadays, a lot of people, not just students, but any individual in every walk of life have been embracing positivity in their lives. Of course, this is a good thing, but this often overshadows our need to practice how we should think and what we should do when things don't go our way. Some people embrace positivity a little too much that any hint of negativity is put aside. I emphasize that we also need constant exposure to negativity because only then can we practice turning negatives into positives or turning weaknesses into strengths. Because if you're afraid of the dark, you don't conquer that fear by staying in the light. You do so by being immersed in the darkness. I stand for acknowledging and being able to face negativity during our time. Because while it is true that we are still students who are trying to meet deadlines and managing our time to allot toward our academics, duties, and our time with our families and friends, our ability to handle challenges and adversities is something that we will carry with us into the real world. We must be ready to deal with negativity now in order to be effective members of our communities when we graduate. Positivity is good, but getting ourselves used to just positivity will not challenge us to be more adaptable in situations, especially those we cannot control. I advocate that we must all learn to navigate our way through the dark. We don't have to wait that long until we can see in it. Thank you.
Sampaguita. Rooted firmly in our connections, we bloom. The Sampaguita is the national flower of the Philippines. This beautiful flower symbolizes hope and represents a country filled with excellent students, New Era University students included. I, however, have noticed an unfortunate reality. Many Filipino graduates, New Era graduates, are having a hard time landing jobs despite having good grades and being academically inclined. And this problem is not only seen in the Philippines, but even more so abroad, which is something that we should be concerned about, seeing how our online learning system enables New Era students to pursue their education from anywhere around the world. I quote from an article titled, 8 Reasons Why It's Hard to Find Jobs in the Philippines. Employers hire only candidates from prominent universities. Many companies are obsessed with hiring candidates who come from reputable learning institutions. This means those who come from lesser-known schools are often discriminated against and forced to accept less desirable and lower-paying jobs. If this is already the case in our own country, the Philippines, what more in places like North America and Europe, where myself and many of my fellow students are situated? I stand here today to advocate for my fellow students and peers who contain immense levels of potential waiting to be unleashed. Academic excellence is undoubtedly found in our institution and is one of the greatest factors in tightening the grasp on the future you desire. However, there is an overlooked part in this equation for success: making connections. We are the seeds that will eventually bloom into the next generation. Starting now, we must sprout and firmly establish our roots before flourishing. We, as students, must foster important connections and cultivate a strong network to propel us in our careers and in our lives. My advocacy will equip New Era students with the social skills they need in order to become great communicators, ensuring that the academic excellency found within our institution will also transition well into the workplace. My advocacy will guide New Era students to bloom just as the Sampaguita does, representing our country and our university with grace and with pride, no matter where we may be in the world. Thank you.
Next in our sequence are the candidates from NEU Pampanga.
Good day to everyone. The title of my advocacy is Free Books for a Brighter Future. We all know that we're still in the midst of pandemic, but it's proven that despite of all circumstances that we all are facing, special as students, we keep on going because we have a goals that we need to reach. And so I chose this advocacy to help those children who wants to pursue studying and those students who wants to learn, but because of the pandemic, they lack the capability to learn new knowledge. That is why I came up with this idea, giving free books to those children and students who wish to gain and learn new knowledge. This advocacy will help children when capable to buy books. However, the main beneficiaries of this advocacy is those children from families who cannot afford to buy modern gadgets and has no electricity. Their lifestyle has been really affected by the pandemic that we're still experiencing nowadays, so learning would not be hindered in their part, and those free books will come from us students because I'm pretty sure that my co-students have plenty of books stuck in their rooms, and so I'm encouraging my co-students to donate their used and old books to those children who really needs it. And in our little ways, we are making a bigger and brighter future, not only to those young children, but also in our nation, because I believe in the saying, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Thank you po.
following NEU Pampanga, let's welcome College of Education.
A pleasant day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Alexandra S. Cruz, a stunner representing the College of Education. Our universities, educators, and future educators have been confronted with some of the most social issues at our time over the last years. I am proud of our progress as a researchers, writers, teachers, and students. The College of Education continue to teach, learn, and achieve at all levels. And in March 2008, it was designated as a Center of Teacher Training Institution. Since then, the College of Education continued to produce licensed teachers and consistently rank at the top of the teachers' licensure examinations. Additionally, the college demonstrates its excellence through participation in a variety of divisional and regional competitions. Education is a life-changing experience for each student. It is a journey that includes success, setbacks, failures, significance, and efforts. Education begins at home with the parents and continues throughout one's life, and it is what determines an individual qualities of life. The first day of school for a child, a watershed moment for the world's youngest students and their parents, has been delayed with an estimated 140 million young minds due to the COVID-19. More children, adolescents, and adults are unable to catch up and are thus left behind as a result of limited access to education. While some students are lack of fundamental understanding of education, I personally witnessed a 10-year-old boy taking turns with his 5 other siblings using their only one tablet to connect to his classroom via Zoom from miles away. His teacher occasionally sends him homeworks via Messenger, but he can only access it at night via his father's smartphones when it returns from work. As a future educator, I always believe that in order to truly change the world, we must first assist people in changing their perspective. As a future educator, I hope to use my voice to empower the voiceless, to elevate the unprivileged children by providing them resources to pursue higher education, and to assist those who have been left behind. Starting with small steps like giving part of my time teaching them for free and giving them free school materials. I always believe that we should not only strive to be the change we wish to see in the world, but also help all those around us to see the world through the lens of heartfelt commonalities, so that they will want to change along with us. This is how humanity will improve. This is how you can make difference in the world. The language of the heart is the language of humanity. Again, be the voice of the voiceless, because education is a life-changing journey to each student. Thank you and have a great day.
And last but not the least, let's have the College of Nursing.
Young people are the backbone of our society. Youth is an important time to build young people's strength for a positive future. It is also time of heightened emotion and greater likelihood of risky behavior. Ignoring these key years for young people's participation and healthy development can have big social costs. The Philippines now boasts the most youthful generation in its history. 30 million young people aged 10 to 24 make up 28% of the Philippine population. However, it is not just all butterflies and rainbows. Filipino youth nowadays are getting involved in crimes. They are the causes of many social issues such as teenage pregnancy and increasing number of out-of-school youth. They are also the victims of abuse and social injustice. Many of them also experience mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. As a young member of this society, I feel really disheartened with what is happening with our youth. But I totally understand why these things happen. I, myself, I am a part of the youth and I have experienced the struggles others are experiencing. The confusion, the feeling of being unworthy, and the unending search of what is really stored for me in the future. I am speaking here today as the representative of the nursing department to be the voice of my fellow youth, to shed light on what we are experiencing this time, and to raise awareness and empower the future of our society. I want to express and advocate extensive training and capacity development for our youth in areas such as leadership and advocacy, gender awareness, communication, and life skills. In addition, educators should train our youth in language proficiency and computer literacy in order to meet the needs of the workplace and modern living. Letting our youth participate in our community-led programs that are beneficial to them, such as social welfare programs, sport leagues, or social cultural contests. Aside from being fun, will make them drift away from getting into the wrong path. Furthermore, educate parents to encourage and assist their children in completing their education and following up to ensure that their ambitions are doing. Finally, let us listen to their voices and let them speak up, because by doing this, we are showing them that they are heard, they are seen, and they are part of our community. Youth empowerment enables young people to speak up for themselves, help their society and nation, and encourage them to be more responsible. By empowering them, we teach them how to develop something that benefits both themselves and this society. When young people view themselves as contributing member of a society, they acquire the abilities that allow them to have responsibility over their own life. We have a powerful potential in our youth, and all we need to do is redirect them to the path that will shape them to be the best version of themselves. We need a strong foundation in rebuilding our society, and this can only be possible by empowering the youth, which are the hope and the future of our society.
The NEU students are truly amazing, Meg, and I am sure that each and every single one of us became inspired with what they had to say.
I do agree, Carl. This is not your ordinary pageantry. Such eloquency from our student leaders. This is more than that, right? And the candidates of each college and branch prove that. Once again, this kickstarts to this year's Mr. and Miss NEU and has been a success. And before we close this program, we would like to welcome Mr. Lance Iris Orong, our organizer for today's event, to give his closing remarks. Let's give him a big round of virtual applause.
Good morning once again to the organizers of this event, the contestants, the school administration, and the administration of the Church of Christ, by which, without their contribution and dedication, this event will not be held successfully. A Christian culture of excellence, discipline, and service to humanity. For 46 years, New Era University has never failed to uphold these virtues that led to the creation of successful individuals, student leaders in which their own ways have contributed to the development of the world. And with the moments that have passed in this event, we, the current generation of faculties and students in our institution, have witnessed the unending development of the mission, vision, and philosophy of New Era University through these remarkable individuals that have presented their advocacies and their morals and virtues that they have learned and acquired throughout their journey in their own ways and the journey that they have gone through inside this institution. I like to visualize leadership as a raindrop falling into calm waters. A single drop may be considered tiny, but the ripple that it creates in the stillness of calm waters spreads wide and turns into waves. A single drop of leadership, created by the efforts of those who lead, is enough to manifest into the lives of those it touches, and through them, other leaders can also be made. That is how I visualize the theme of this Mr. and Miss NEU competition, as a gathering of student leaders presented as raindrops falling into a sea of leaders yet to be made through their voices and the virtues they wish to impart. I am proud of being a student, a product of New Era University, as it is a privilege to be involved in the excellence and success that this institution manifests through its Christian culture. I am proud to be a witness and organizer of this event, to be able to see firsthand the bright future of this institution in the hands of responsible individuals as we have witnessed today. This event has been a great kickstart to showcase the role models of our institution, and there will be many more events to look forward to. I implore the students of this institution that as we continue to be part of this event, may we learn something meaningful to incorporate to our personal improvement as students and as children and servants of our Father. I congratulate the contestants of this event, and together, may we continue to long for and achieve excellence, discipline, and service to humanity. Once again, I am Lance Iris H. Orong, and I thank you.